Welcome back to the Mocktown podcast. We're back. If you saw, we did our big mural episode last week. Unfortunately, we missed the release of chapter 1146.
I died last week.
Yeah. Why?
I was very sick.
Do you not respect Oda?
Fuck them.
That's ridiculous.
Heard it here first.
On the Mocktown podcast of all places. This is ridiculous. But yeah, welcome back to Mocktown Podcast. I am the host, Saxon, sitting here with my co-host, Declan.
Hello.
We are here with probably our seventh episode now. Basically, we're just going to be reviewing and going through and chatting about 1146 and 1147.
Yeah, because we've done hundreds of episodes now.
Yeah, well, we're at episode 100 and something. But yeah, we're just going to be talking about this week's chapters, this week's chapter and the week before's. Plenty to talk about. Probably going to get into what we expect of next chapter as well, or the next couple chapters, because it's heating up.
And it worked out well that we missed 1146 because it was a bit of a quiet chapter.
Yeah, we would have focused a lot on the last panel. That was pretty much the only thing we were like, there's a ton to talk about with.
But 1147.
That's when it really heats up. And
it's like 15 pages.
15 pages. 2-week break incoming, which always means hot topic for next chapter. With the way this one ended, it's gonna be a probably a pretty big next couple weeks of One Piece.
So is it 2 weeks of break coming up?
I think just 1 week break. I think just like a week break. So yeah, we'll
have some fun.
We'll have some fun. We'll chat about something. If there's anything you guys want us to talk about,
please leave comments.
Please. Engagement really helps us. Really keeps us motivated, inspired to do this when ultimately it is just for fun, so we don't really need it, but it's nice to still get that. Get the likes, get the subscribes, and just getting views and in general, so,
Our very first video just capped 100 views.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations us. Round of applause. Woo. All right. What a way to start.
Pat yourselves on the back.
Yeah. Thank you, Mocktown crew. Am I right? Thank you, fellow pirates.
Wad.
But yeah, so I think we're just going to jump straight into it. If there's nothing you wanted to bring up first, pre-discussion.
No, the last time we were together filming this, as I was saying goodbye, I said the next chapter won't be on Elbaph. And I was wrong.
Yeah, you were very wrong.
For some reason, at the end of 1145, I just had a feeling we were just going to end up somewhere else for maybe a few chapters. You know how they do that sometimes?
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, with the way that these 2 chapters have gone, I think maybe you were just a little bit early. There's a chance that we could be back somewhere else on the world. Next chapter.
Because they love to get very serious and then just leave.
Divert. Yeah. Oda is notorious for just getting to the punchline of the whole situation and then going, and you can hear about it in a few weeks. I got other stories to tell.
Yep, here's a backstory.
And we love it. Look, it could be a Gunko backstory. I doubt it. I feel like the Holy Knights, the way these 2 chapters have gone, it looks like they are going to be setting themselves as a real villain, but not for this arc. But I want to talk about the future. I would love to talk about the future of this arc once we've done the review.
But let's talk about Gunko now of 1146.
Because we open up
Heavy Gunko,
yeah. I'll touch on maybe
because we had some
Yamato.
theories about Gunko and Brook.
Yes, we did. We as picked up by Declan. She was listening to Soul King Brook.
New World,
the song. So we know she's a fan, and we get some clarification about it.
Definitely a crazy fan.
She's a crazy fan, very big fan. So we started off this chapter where we left off. Gunko has just boarded the ship. Pretty mundane stuff. Everyone's like, who the bloody heck is this?
Do we just quickly... Sorry, I kind of jumped a gun a little bit, but do we just quickly... Ulti and Yamato.
Oh, yes, Yamato's pilgrimage. I was going to...
Yamato.
Yamato. Yamato Yamato. Yeah, Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 31. It's about as slow moving as it's always been. She's hugging her sister. That's about it.
Yamato. Fuck me. How do you say it?
Yamato.
Yamato. What the hell?
I like it.
No. Are they?
Ulti and Page 1 are the adopted children of Kaido. So
I always
they
forget
are
they're all
the
kind of
children of
related.
Hanafuda, who was the warlord that Ace took down to get his 500 berry bounty and get offered warlord status. But he joined the Whitebeards and said, no, I want to work with Papa. And I want to make Papa the king of the pirates. And Papa said, actually, it's going to be you, Ace, but I'm just going to set you up for it. Neither of those things happened. R.I.P.
Yep.
to the both of them.
And that's the cover story.
But cover story, it's been really disappointing, I think.
Yep.
31 pages in to a cover story, and we're not getting anything even like lore related.
All
like,
it is Yamato. Fuck. What the fuck?
You can call her Odin if you want.
Yeah. Odin. I almost said Yoda. Fuck. I'm having a stroke.
We're starting off. It's been a while. It's been a week or
Yamato is just accruing people.
Yeah, she's basically building her own crew.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. I think now the idea of what's the young girl's name?
Ulti?
No. The
little
the Kazuki. Yeah, that one.
Yep, Moki,
Yeah.
the little donut girl.
Yeah. She
Or
looks
no,
Otama.
Otama. I knew it was an O.
Otama. So it looks like Otama is, she obviously professed that she wanted to become a pirate like Luffy. Luffy said, "You just stay here, little buddy. I'll pick you up later. Prove to me that you can." But there's a very strong chance that she's just going to follow in the footsteps of Yamato and become an apprentice on that. But there is also a chance that she's going to stay with Kazuki Momonosuke and Yamato. This is basically their training arc, but it's a pretty boring training arc. Like, I think we all would have assumed that a Conqueror Haki mythical Zoan could already beat everyone she's beaten. Like, who's not an opponent for that?
Who? Exactly. No one.
Exactly. No one. Guy with a lion on his belly?
That's something.
At least it's interesting. It's a little goofy.
Now, also, before we get into the chapter of 1146, we theorized a few weeks ago, threw out some crazy theories about Luffy or Usopp being sucked into the
Summoning circle.
Summoning circle. That can't happen.
Why not?
Well, the reason they're taking the giant kids onto the boat is because they don't have the marking.
Yes. So it looks like let's get into it once we've seen what happens.
But I just wanted to
in this situation, because you're right. We were wrong with that one. I will say, if you watched our mural episode or you haven't watched it, please go back, because I truly think we cooked. Like,
Mocktown special.
There was some predictions that I think we made a very small claim. Just like loosely, it wasn't something we really harped on, that the moon may have been the first world. As I look at it more, with the mural depicting the conveyor belts and rereading Anel's cover story 2 or 3 times now, I think the first world is depicting the moon.
I opened something up inside you. Rehashing that cover story.
Between the worm, it's like we don't know if the worm Gorosei is a devil fruit, or if the Gorosei's powers are devil fruit related and they're mythical zonings. We don't know. There's a good chance that it is just depicting an animal, a creature that lives on the moon, which we see in Anel's cover story 600 chapters ago. We see a bird-like creature that looks much like the mythical serpent Zoan, like serpent bird Zoan, also on that moon. It really, with the conveyor belt and the history of knowing that all the winged tribes, the Lunarians, the Skypans, the Birkins, they all came from the moon. The clearly advanced technology, I really think we cooked. So
Especially with how quickly those androids could get to the moon just by hanging on some balloons.
I can't believe how much we cooked, and frankly, I think we should invest in making a more upscale video for that, because that was just off the dome, and I really agree with where we were coming from.
So if you haven't listened, check out the previous episode, the mural episode.
Yeah, plenty to look on. All right, let's jump into 1146. Pretty set up chapter.
11433. Like
interesting.
1146.
3-3. I liked that. Yeah, sure. I enjoyed
Equals
that.
6.
Yeah.
1 and 1, that's 11, not 2.
Yeah.
And then 4 is 4. And then 3 and 3 is 6.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get where you're coming from. One hand, that's all he's got. Doesn't have another one. 1146 starts off where 1145 ended. Gunko's on the ship. Everyone's surprised. You know, we saw these reactions before. Oda's just rehashing them because he had a break week.
Mm-hmm.
Basically starts with Gunko sort of throwing around some weight and explaining what they're doing ultimately. You know, like talking about being a higher being than the Straw Hats and stuff, and doing all the typical Celestial Dragon stuff. We get some shots of the kids. We also see Frankie take out Zeus, or the child's description of Zeus. Yeah, hits him with the beam. Ripley, very impressed. Lilith, very impressed. Bonnie, very impressed. Straight back to drama. Straight back into Gunko talking to the crew, telling the crew about how they're going to be walking the children to Merijois. So this also confirms, I think, a theory that everyone agreed with, that Elbaph is connected to and is the safest route to the Sky Islands, has something to do with Elbaph. Whether Elbaph is just another safe route and there's a third way to get to the Sky Islands that we haven't been introduced to, you know, the way that they were told about initially. But I think it's probably pretty safe to say that this is the entry point for the Sky Islands, and it's also safe to say now that Merijois has access to the Sky Islands in some way, because that's how they were going to walk them back. And to kill a wolf and all the bridges weren't in the New World; they were in the first half of the Grand Line. So we know it's nothing like that. Yeah, very, very interesting. Very scary for the kids. Very scary for the kids. Hopefully, they can maybe get a little more tough. Go back to their warrior roots. Next chapter, we'll get into that. We see attacks coming from all ends. They target, or Gunko targets Usopp specifically for the attacks. Brook is aware that this is a Holy Knight and that Holy Knights are one step above Celestials. Look, we know Brook's, because of his age, going to know a little bit more than everyone.
Referred to Roger as a rookie.
Yeah. He's like, I remember a kid, like a rookie by that name, just a young kid. And we know Roger also sailed for like 20 years before he became the king of the pirates. So it's like,
and
he's been known.
And it'll be hard for Brook to know what he knows and be like, oh, this is what I know. Shouldn't everyone know this stuff?
No, yeah, Brook.
Especially with how secretive the world government is.
Yes, yeah, because you're right. He was floating in the same area for 80 years. So all his knowledge and learning basically stopped.
Because let's say
at like 30.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how. I think he's like 100 or just 98 or something.
So he has some past knowledge.
Yeah. But the knowledge stream was cut off, and also Luffy doesn't ask him ever
anything,
because Luffy doesn't care about the world history, and that's like intentional. But it's a way Oda has made it so that there are people on this crew that know more than what we know, but don't share it because their captain doesn't know. So it makes complete sense that Robin isn't telling the whole crew something, because why would I tell the whole crew when my captain doesn't want to know?
But that's also a very human thing. You know, I don't come here every week and just start saying things.
Yeah, I'm not just like, how about the here's a little bit of history for you. Like, imagine you just walk up to people and you're like, by the way,
So in
1920, there was a war.
But if you bring up that war, I'm gonna go, oh, actually, I was there.
Yeah, yeah. And this is one of those perfect examples of that. Brooke's like, Holy Knight. I know that these guys are Holy Knights. Nami makes an attack at Gunko, ultimately
Gets reversed.
Gets reversed. Gunko's powers are really interesting. The arrow fruit can obviously force, as we know with the kids, can force them to go into a direction, but it's a lot more.
It's a directional fruit.
Yeah, it's very directional fruit. Like, it can reflect, it can dodge, it can push, it can attack.
Turn into a bird.
It can grab. Yeah, it can turn into a bird.
What do you think of how the way Gunko talked? It surprised me of like her cadence. Because I guess Gunko seems to be like the lesser of the god knights.
Yeah, she doesn't speak with like a holier accent. Like a lot of the.
Well, I noticed that, but until she spoke to the crew, she was like, "You're nothing. You are scum."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that she's definitely taken the behavior of a celestial. Now, the words she's using are a lot more like she's very timid around other holy knights, and yeah, you can definitely feel like there's a class separation there. But then obviously, she feels that class separation towards regular people too. So she's still an evil lady. But yeah, they basically attack at the attack gets reversed.
Nami grabs Brook.
Yep.
Uses him as the shield.
Yes, very funny. Very funny. I thought this was actually a really funny interaction because there's another panel just after, I think on the next page of, I'll get to it in a sec. Usopp shoots Gunko and just obliterates her. Like, this is the first time we've ever seen Usopp probably just go for the kill. Like, no questions asked. He was like, alright, I'm gonna just hit her with a deadly star.
Yeah, went straight, just fucking anybody else dead.
Bullseye hits the fucking skull smoke, like...
Body exploded.
Yeah, literally anyone else except for Holy Knights and Gorosei, dead. And Usopp just pulled that trigger like he was, Ooh, I've forgotten his name. Episode 3, or chapter 3.
Lucky
Roo. He pulled that trigger like Lucky Roo, just no
you're going to say something way worse.
Oh, no. Little bit of Luigi. But she recovers. She's fine. She has the same power set as the Gorosei.
Regenerates in a gruesome way. I think someone referred to it as.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited now because of that line to see what the regeneration of the Gorosei looks like in the anime.
It looks like nothing.
No, I think it's going to be... I think it's...
Like bones first and then flesh.
Ooh.
Something like Attack on Titan type. Like
That would be cool. That would be a dark twist for One Piece anime. I think it'll probably end up just being more of a dust settling into the correct place. And they just become normal. But yeah, no, with the way it talks about it being so gruesome, maybe it is going to be really gruesome. Maybe not for the gods, for the celestial Gorosei, but for the gods' knights, I think they maybe have a weaker version of what the Gorosei have, a weaker form of magic, or whatever it is, Haki, devil fruit power,
magic.
Yeah, it could literally be anything. It could be technology that we had never, like, from the first or second world. It could just be ancient technology. Like, there's so many options. But obviously Gunko is going to attack Usopp straight afterwards. This is the thing I was talking about, very funny. Brook and Jinbei basically being like, hey, you need to be able to dodge this. You know where it's coming from. And in the background of it, Nami's trying to like pull the arrow away from Usopp, but it's still pointed directly at him. And I just sort of look really
I don't think I saw that.
So like, look at Nami and Usopp in the background.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah. So, you know, like, I appreciated that because I feel like we've sort of... It's been slower on the laughs.
Not many gags.
Since Wano. Since, like, outside of Gear 5. Gear 5 is just joke city.
Well, we did also see like I think it was 11:45 or 11:44 with like Luffy just trying to feed Loki.
That was very funny as well. Yeah, you're right.
It's been a while since there's been some. Yeah.
Yeah, Oda's definitely been getting in his bag, his jokes bag more recently. He's cracked out the 1,000 dad jokes, and he's picked a couple. And it's been really funny because like I think one my favorite part of One Piece, obviously world building is amazing, character development is amazing, the story in general, but I've never belly laughed at an anime the way I belly laugh at this one. And like I'm currently watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Give a lot of credit to that show. Very funny as well. Like it has some really, really funny like art, but it's always sort of the same jokes, you know, like turn the characters a bit chibi and like make them react funny to something.
Yeah.
Oda does the reaction shots very funny. Like he can really make some hilarious reaction shots, but he also just his physical comedy with the characters is different to every other anime's like sense of humor. You can tell he has a different sense of humor to probably the colloquially accepted Japanese sense of humor that they know is going to work on TV and manga.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we see that, and it's sort of going bad for the crew on the ship with Colin. It cuts pretty much between Dory and Brogy cutting down the bird dream nightmare thing. We see a very fat Loki full to the brim of food.
Yep, and Luffy next to him.
Just also equally as big. Hyruden is on the other side.
So they're just gonna
standing there.
They're gonna exhale soon.
Yeah.
And be shredded and ready to fuck something up.
So I think yeah, like it's about to get interesting because when you see Luffy like that, next chapter he's gonna be upright, fully fit, jacked, probably with an aura, a Conqueror's Haki aura. I want to get into that after we've quickly just delved through this chapter and next chapter because I've got a lot of predictions of what the next couple chapters are looking like.
Let's go.
I know we're gonna speed through this because I think unless you feel like there's a lot to talk about,
doesn't get exciting until the end.
Yeah.
Well, there is a little thing, but I don't know if it means anything. But it's later on when.
Yes. Yeah. So Colin stands up to fight Gunko. He's very brave. He's a warrior of Elbaph from the heart. He's the son of Gabon. I thought Gabon and Ripley's interaction in the next chapter was actually really funny talking about Colin. But we'll get into that shortly. We see Usopp yet again just try and get Gunko. He hits her, like he's blasting. Oh, no, sorry, she dodges this one. She uses her power to flip and then just hits him with the hardest knee I've ever seen. Making Usopp look like an absolute idiot. But Gunko is clearly strong, and this is clearly setting up that Summers and Shipley are both also... Shepard, sorry. Stronger than Gunko, I would suggest, being like old school Holy Knights. So yeah, that's, again, another really interesting moment of Gunko being strong and power scaling stuff. Like, obviously, this was never going to be easy, because these are the final villains of the world government. Thank you. I was able to hold it just enough. But yeah, we get the beginning of... Now, I'm really bad with this. Is it Shepard who's the dragon, or Summers?
Yeah.
Shepard. We get Shepard sending out a message to the whole of Elbaph. The start of the message, I think it follows through.
He's put the school teachers to sleep, or like he's put their body to sleep?
Yes, yeah. He's put one of the teachers is still awake and lucid, and he's like, I can't move.
He's put their body to sleep.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Can't move. Killingham, sorry, is his name. So yeah, comes through. Saul also gets taken out by Shepard. I think this Summers is one of the Gorosei, I think. No?
Oh hell.
All right.
Keep talking. You keep going.
Yeah, okay.
Let the people know.
But yeah, so we see whoever was fighting Saul, as we try and discover the name. I'm sorry, this is very completely unprofessional. I've forgotten their names.
Yeah, Killingham is the dragon.
Killingham's a dragon, so it'd be Shepherd or Summers, and one of them is a Gorosei, I think. Taking out Saul. Saul is talking to Robin.
No, it's Shepherd Summers. That's his name. It's just Shepherd
Oh,
Summers.
okay. That makes more sense. I was getting confused. Saul getting attacked, getting beaten by Summers. Talking to Robin and Chopper, being like, "Hey guys, stay in my hair. This guy's invincible. He's immortal. Like we can't kill him." And then at the end, we see from Summers him curse King Harold for ruining their plan. So we were right. We predicted correctly. Harold had a lot to do with all this.
Yeah.
But I still don't know if it's good or bad. It seemed like he did a good thing, that he fucked them up.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like he... But then, could that not have been Loki's actions that actually were the good thing?
I think the world government assassinated him.
And blamed it and pinned it on Loki. Because Loki admits to fighting Harold.
Yeah.
Loki is like he... It's not like Loki when Hajrudin confronts him about it. It's not like Loki's like,
But
I didn't kill Dad. He's like, do you think I killed him without reason?
Yeah. The reason could be, because we're seeing it now, kids are asleep and still moving.
Mm.
What if they just fucking had Loki asleep and sleep fight?
That would be, yeah, like imagine that the three, like, Killingham, Summers, and...
Gunko.
No,
Paddy.
yeah.
Paddy O'Houlihan's.
Betty Oolan. That's not a wrench.
Shanks's brother.
Shanks's brother.
Who uses the
Shamrock.
wrench.
Shamrock.
I knew it was like, it's fucking, I knew it was
yeah.
some sort of milkshake.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I know it's Irish something.
Shout out
Shamrock.
to the Shamrock Shake.
But yeah, Shamrock, I could imagine it was those three, and then Gunko is the new face of this second operation. But you could see the first operation being, it could have even been the other Figerland, Garling. It could have been Garling, Killingham, Shepherd. They get put to sleep. Loki did some horrendous things, but I think that Loki put a stop to Harold. That's where I'm coming from. We're going to find out this arc. There's going to be a flashback.
Yeah.
100%. There's no way we leave this arc without getting a Loki flashback.
Now, the last panel, do you think that's... there's the text above Summers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that text is like in the past, or is that text present? Because it goes square text box to then Summers text box. So it seems like everything was going so well, Harold, and then Summers saying, until you messed it up, or something like that.
So he goes, terrify the world in service to us.
Oh no, that's definitely him.
Isn't
still
that
talking.
right, King Harold? So and then stupid Harold had to go screw it up. So here's how I'm going to read it. Harold accepted a deal with the world government, and I think that was the same deal that was probably keeping the adopted kids and moving them to the Cypher Pole.
Or could this be the deal of having giants in the Marines?
Well, that's what I was about. Yeah, so I think the deal was initially, we will harbor future CP0, so the agents, or future CP agents, because they need to be nameless. They can't have connection. They are world government puppets. They have to be as disconnected from the world as possible. And then phase 2 or 3 of the plan would eventually have been using the Elbaph giants as warriors of the world government.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was probably that Harold maybe let a couple of them go. Obviously, Goldberg and whoever the other one was that was at Ennie's lobby, they were only there because they just showed that was the island they landed on after Little Garden. Oh, while searching for Dory and Brogy.
Yep.
But the ones that were at like Saul and stuff, my assumption was always that those giants were of the giant colonies off Elbaph, like Saul is.
Yeah, because is Saul a giant?
Saul's a giant.
They
They're giants. They
Doesn't
just
look.
they're not Elbaph giants.
Mm.
Elbaph giants are like closer to, I think, ancient giants. They've got more of like the ancient giant blood. And that's why you see the horns on a few of them. But I feel like the giants.
See some horns next episode, next chapter.
Yeah, we do see some horns next chapter. But yeah, no, I think I would read it as being like Harold had a deal and then screwed it up some way. Now,
Didn't he make everyone pacifists?
he did.
Maybe that's him betraying the world government, being like, we're not fighters anymore.
Yeah, that could have been his move. He could have been like, I don't want to be a fighter anymore. My people can't be fighters anymore, else we're going to be turned into weapons by the world government. He could have also just been stopped by Loki. Loki could have just been privy to the plan and just been like, what do you mean we're an independent nation of Elbaph giants? We're not bowing our knees to the world government.
Sorry, bruh.
And then just killed him. Yeah, of course. And he's probably found that out, and he could have slaughtered everyone. Like, Loki could still be crazy strong, crazy evil in his methods of, like, dealing with issues, you know. Luffy doesn't kill because he wants to crush people's dreams. Loki probably doesn't have that qualm. He's like, I'll kill everyone. But ultimately to do the right thing. So I think Loki's going to become a lot more shadowy character, I guess, in a way, like a lot less morally readable, or maybe more morally grey, an anti-hero almost, like a Punisher sort of thing, like just come in, do the work, but get it done quick, ultimately for good, but the wrong way.
Yep.
The way that doesn't benefit. But yeah, it was an interesting way to end the chapter. It definitely felt like we're opening the door to the secrets of Elbaph very shortly, and it looks like Elbaph royalty maybe had more secrets than we thought, but at the same time,
real world royalty.
Yeah,
Lizard people,
they definitely killed Diana, my princess,
the people's princess,
my queen.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a setup chapter.
It was a setup chapter, and ultimately this one was as well, but the end of the setup is always a lot more interesting than the setup itself.
Good way to show off Gunko's fighting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, she uses directions.
Yeah.
Do we have her fight Zoro?
Ha! That would be hilarious, because with Zoro's directionalist,
she's going to be like, oh, he's going left.
And then he actually goes right or something like that.
He'll be like, how does she know I'm going left? But then they'll be like, you're going right, idiot.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where they're
Yeah, he won't even realize he's dodging her move or something. I reckon that's a really good... that'd be really funny.
Yeah, because it's a fucking warlord crew. I just want them to just easily take people out.
Yeah.
Sure, Gunko's different because she's a god knight, but fuck it.
Well, there's a reason that the 3 strongest crew members aren't with the rest of the crew. Sanji, Zoro, and
Jinbei's
Luffy.
now higher than Sanji.
He's higher, but he's not stronger than Sanji. Don't give me that.
You don't think?
No. He's not a wing of the prince. He's a fucking... He's
the boat.
He's the helmsman. No, Frankie's the boat. Wrong one.
Yeah, but he's a fish man.
He is a fit. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like Jinbei ain't strong. I'm just saying, Jinbei's a middle-aged man. He's peaked. He's in his decline. Sanji just keeps getting stronger and is already stronger, I think.
That checks out because Jinbei's wanted for more reasons. He's done some...
Yeah, well, like, Jinbei's wanted because he's an ex-warlord.
He should still be an impel down.
Yeah, like, the plan was he refused to fight Ace or guard the execution of Ace, so he got put in Impel Down.
And Luffy was like,
But he was a warlord.
come hang out.
Yeah, he was a warlord still, so
Come
he's
to
gonna he's got an immediate cachet of $1 billion. Because like, have we seen a warlord's bounty be under $1 billion yet?
A billy.
I think they've all been over. Even Crocodile, who lost to a pre-time skip Luffy because he got a little wet, got like what, $2 billion?
Is that Crocodile's laugh?
Yeah, it was not a
was
good
it,
one.
right?
Yeah, it was a good try.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tried.
Anyway, should we move on to 11:47?
Yeah. Onto 11:47.
Woo! That was 11:46, everybody.
Thank you. Hell yeah, boy. Moving straight into 11:47.
11:47
Ogre Child
talk.
Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage Volume 32. Nothing happened again. Raizo
Yamato,
is the daimyo.
Yamato.
Yeah. Raizo is now the daimyo of the prison district. Udon. That's cool.
I fucking hated that dude.
Right,
He
yeah,
just looked
Raizo.
stupid.
Yeah, he did. I wasn't a huge Raizo fan.
Why
He was
is
fun
your
when he
head so big.
he's still, as a name only, one of the toughest things ever. When like the dog and the cat. I know he's got
The
dog in
leaders
his
of
name.
Zao.
And they're like, they get tortured by Jack. And then just go like, Raizo's safe. Like that Raizo's safe part of the anime is tough. No?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it? You didn't watch it?
I didn't watch the anime.
Oh, really? In the manga. Raizo's
Bro,
safe.
That was like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Fuck, I remember.
that was like 10 years ago, bro.
No, why not?
5 years nearly.
Yeah.
We've been... Egghead was a year. Elbaph has been 6 months. Dressrosa was probably a year or two.
Where's
Zoe was just before
No, but, like,
Dressrosa.
Wano was
Not Dressrosa.
Dressrosa's
Whole Cake
out.
Island was a year or two.
Fuck me.
And then Zoe was before that.
Okay, so sorry I forget things.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's been ages. So even more reason to forget.
I'm getting grey hairs while reading this.
You started as a wee boy. And I'm gonna be bald by the time this ends.
Bro, he might be bald by the time this episode ends.
No, I won't. But yeah, nothing happens. Raizo feeds them. Cool, whatever.
They're holding Who's helmet out in the back. Remember that? So he's officially defeated.
Oh, they are too. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, who cares? People are dancing. Food's getting eaten.
About time.
Otama's hugging Raizo. Good on her. I don't care at this point. Give me at least one cover page where you reveal something about Wano, because there's still so much.
Oh, just give me a fun one with like maybe when Don Flamingo was feeding the birds, or Crocodile was holding the umbrella up for the dog or something.
Yeah, make it beautiful. Make it beautiful for a little bit, but alas, here we are. Basically, open up this chapter where it left off. Summer's talking to Big Papa Saul, covered in
The man with the red
vines.
beard.
Man with the man marked by flames. No.
Well, they refer to him as the red bearded man.
Oh, they do too.
Oh my god.
Didn't even realize.
Fucking.
But yeah, it starts off pretty warm. We get to start seeing.
What do you mean you
more-
didn't realize? Did you just look at the images?
No, I get.
Piece it together yourself.
This is not the week of preparation for me. I'm gonna be honest. I did a lot for the mural episode. I did like so much R&D. These 2 chapters, I didn't even read them until like 3 days ago.
Goddamn.
Unfortunately, just been a bit too busy.
It's life. It's 2025.
It's 2025.
2026 next week. Well, we're recording this in the future, by the way.
Yeah. This is being recorded in 2027. We're actually, by 2027, we figured out time travel, but now the world's just going backwards and we can't stop it.
I don't know.
We're just getting
We
smaller.
Fucked up.
Yeah, we fucked up. Help us.
You could help us by leaving a comment and liking the video.
Thank you. We get Killingham really start his speech to the whole island.
I can't wait to see what he sounds like, because he looks like a little dweeb.
Yes, he did.
Guys.
Yeah, I feel like You can sort of almost guess Summer's voice is going to be like, hey, Gunko is just going to be a generic female voice. But yeah, I think Killingham's going to have like a goofy, high-pitched voice. It'd be funny if he does. He'll be like, I'm going to make you see me your
I
nightmares.
think it's gonna sound like the blue truck from Bob the Builder.
Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. Oh, God. But Gunko has officially rounded up the crew. Jinbei has been taken. Nami, Usopp, Brook, they are taken captive.
Brooke gets questioned.
Brook gets questioned immediately. I also like Nami just being like, hey, Jinbei, do more. Like, why aren't you protecting me?
I'm
You're
thinking of an
Jinbei.
idea. He's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, Nami has the opinion of Jinbei that you have clearly, that he's the big dog of the crew outside of Luffy.
Big Blue.
Ridiculous.
That's what we call him on the streets. Big Blue.
But immediately, Gunko showing her celestial dragon nature. Oh, you're coming with me, Brookie. You're gonna make music for me.
Sing me a song, funny man.
I was about to start singing the song we were doing before this. Tough from Brook though. He stands up.
Oh, another cold line.
Another cold moment from Brook. Well, this guy, he's really the king of hell. But he's the king of hell, and it's the
rock
ice.
star of hell.
He's the rock star of hell. Because, by the way, he stood up to Big Mom back in the day, and now this, he's like, I've pledged allegiance to someone.
It's given me another life.
He's given me another life. I've pledged this life to my captain, Luffy.
To the flag.
And he says, I would rather die than live without honor. Boy, oh boy, I love it. I love Brook so much.
Ad dog.
He genuinely is challenging Sanji for my favorite Straw Hat, because every time he comes through so much higher than you expect. Like, I know you said you don't watch the anime. The scene where he, I think it's meets up with Robin in Wano during the raid, and he like freezes and the whole room with one slash. Tough. Like, everything Brook does is cool as, except for the panties bit, which even that is small enough, like it's infrequent enough that I'm like, alright, fine. It's the same way I feel about Sanji with the pervy shit in the manga. He doesn't do it.
Yeah, but the anime is getting bad.
But the anime is so bad for both of them. It's like, why do you gotta butcher it? Why do you gotta butcher these two characters that aren't that weird? And then in the anime, they're so weird. It's like, why is this gag something the...
Brook's like Louis C.K. He asks first.
Well, I think that was the issue with Louis, is he didn't ask.
No, I thought he was asking.
No. He was asking people...
And then doing it.
And then doing it.
And
then would just do it. But hey, look, we're not here to talk about washed up comedians. You got an issue with that statement? I'm just saying he's washed. Message goes ahead. Check. Can you hear me? Let's really get this thing started.
Sorry, has Gunko kicked Brook yet?
Oh, yes, Gunko
Now,
kicks Brook. You got words.
is she hurt because she's heard what he's saying, or is she actually in pain for something?
Oh, you know what?
Bottom right, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing what you mean right now.
Holds her chest. Is that either heartbreak or...
She looks in pain.
Yeah, is that just like...
Because GRK, like a gr sound, could that be like a cracking sound as well as a wince of pain?
Like, what the fuck is that?
That's really interesting shout.
It's either she's hurt from him rejecting her, or she's actually hurt.
Yeah, which would make sense, because we theorized before that Gunko was probably a slave. My opinion, I don't know if you agree with me on this, is I feel she may be the daughter of Ginny, another daughter of Ginny. So there's a very strong chance that it could be an emotional response, because imagine you're a slave and then you get told you're now a celestial, and then someone says no to you. Like, you're like, but I'm already, I got to the top. I did, like, there is an entitlement that maybe Gunko is allowed to have, because it makes sense narratively that a person who had nothing and then is given and told to be like a god and is told they can have anything they want to then get something not go their way, you can understand that emotional reaction causing a form of
When
pain.
I don't get my way,
Could it also be...
I'm going to baby up.
Yeah. Wang. Wing. But could it be an effect of Brooke being connected so deeply to the underworld? Like, to the spirits?
Oh, she had to sell a part of her soul to become a...
Yeah, well, what if
CD
that's
and
how they
Soul
do
King.
it? What if that's how they do it? They sell their soul.
Oh, fuck, we have
So
seen
they
Brooke being
only-
summoned before.
Absolutely. His soul is separate from his body. So his body got transported and his soul just stayed with it. So what if they sold their souls and now they only have physical beings, and those physical beings are caused pain when they're in such direct contact with a soul that is outside of its body? Because, like,
Fuck.
yeah, Brooke is only occupying his body out of, like, probably nostalgia. But he can ultimately occupy any skeleton because he's just a soul.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy.
So
That's something. Write it down.
Let's write that down. Just edit text getting written on the screen.
I'm not doing that. Can't be bothered.
But yeah, no, very, very interesting observation. Great pickup from you. I didn't read this well enough to make that observation, so I'm glad you did the legwork for me this week. Going into the message, sort of just another, like, it's like a weak version of the Egghead message, where it feels like this may go on for a few chapters, but it's ultimately not saying anything that we don't
I feel
already
like
know.
it got to it by the end.
Yeah?
It was just naming the children.
Yeah, it was. It was just naming the children mainly, basically explaining that they're going and where they're going to get taken, and obviously addressing Ja Rule directly regarding the options. Do you want to save the kids and work, like, bend the knee, save the kids, or lose the kids and then they become slaves that we're going to train to become warriors? Colin's out here already being a warrior. He's directing the kids. He's telling them, hey, we can't do anything about this. You guys just got to be strong and not complain, basically, because I don't want to hear it. Immediately gets scared by the ghost, asked to save everyone. He hits the scream, the classic One Piece scream, always funny. If Luffy was around, I think his eyes probably fully pop out of his head, because I think the eyes popping out of the head during that reaction only happens when Gear 5 is on. Because, like, the eyes stay in the head. They sort of come out, but I think when Luffy
We've seen
is
that
in...
one for...
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen that.
But then we see the full eyes come out when Luffy...
Oh, the eyes actually
The
come
eyes
out?
actually, like with the Wano, when Usopp Nami, the eyes actually come out. That's while Gear 5's activated. And I think it happens in Egghead as well. So I think there's, like, a part of the bit is the fact that, like, the eyes can come out of the head because they are, like, stretching, but they can't fully do it unless...
No, but we've seen that
freedom
before
is out.
prior to Gear 5.
Yeah, no, I know. But the eyes fully out, the eyes coming out of the socket.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, with them, with the Elbaph giant pirates,
And what they're afraid of.
what they're afraid of, their ships getting just completely dismantled by their mothers, which is pretty funny.
Another interesting part that happened with this, the boat's being dismantled.
You can destroy the clouds,
Yeah,
which I thought was interesting. They were like, oh, they're
Were they not?
destroying clouds.
I interpreted that as them destroying the oars, and the clouds are just attached to the oars.
No, I think they were just destroying the clouds.
But okay, that's really interesting. I feel like that's one that's gonna be. I think this arc's gonna be great for the anime. Actually, a lot of
it's gonna
the
look sick.
action is pretty open.
Remember when
To
we fucking
interpretation?
saw the land of Wano for the first time?
and how good that looked
Yeah.
compared to like everything else prior.
Yeah, and then
And how
now
fucking Egghead's looking.
has
Look,
looked.
I do look at a bit of highlights from the anime.
Yeah, no, I think it's worth like.
'cause I'm like, what is this gonna look?
Of course, I'm gonna watch the Luffy versus Lucci
Kizaru.
fight.
Oh yeah.
No, oh yeah. Well, like I'm probably gonna watch the whole of Egghead when it comes back, or it may have just started back. But I'm not gonna
It's just
watch
started
it
back.
until.
We've just seen in the anime. I watched the Luffy grabbing Kizaru as a Gear 5 giant.
Oh, okay. So, have we had Kuma's backstory yet?
No, I think that's coming up.
Okay. I don't think I'll start until Kuma's backstory is done, because I know once I start that, I'm gonna watch it in one session.
Oh
so
well, if
I'm
you're
gonna-
here now, you know about that.
Oh yeah, of course. Kuma's backstory is probably
God damn.
the top 3 backstories in all of One Piece.
Yep.
It's beautiful. It's sad. It's funny. It's it's scary. It's packed full of emotion. It was like 4 chapters, I think. 4 maybe 5 chapters. Yeah, no, that backstory was just like emotionally intense. I can't wait for the adaptation of that. But I think Elbaph has really been written or drawn in a way that opens interpretation for the action a little more than pre-Wano. And I think that's because Oda is now at a point where he actually trusts Toei to be able to develop a good action sequence. Like,
Unless Sanji's in it.
well, even the action sequences with Sanji
Giving him-
look
making him
tough.
dirty.
It's just he'll fucking get a boner.
Now-
halfway through.
With these mums destroying everything, what are Elbaph's biggest weaknesses?
Clearly themselves.
No.
What is it?
Fire,
Mm-hmm.
lightning,
Mm-hmm.
and now mums.
Mm-hmm. Big Mom.
Could you pass over to your left? What do we see here in this? What do we see here in this pop vinyl?
Let's take a little closer. I'll take a little closer because all I see is a thundercloud. You know,
Lightning, a
lightning,
thundercloud.
lightning, thunder, pretty synonymous. Fire, a mum.
There's fire as
I think
the hair.
that's a fantastic call. And they hate swords.
They hate halberds.
They hate swords. No, I love that idea from you. I think a lot of people theorize that Big Mum would be back for Elbaph.
Because look at the fucking
Pre-Wano?
mum that's on the boat. That looks like a hungry big mum.
Yeah, I can see it. I can fully see it. And like, yeah, as I said, like knowing Big Mum's character and what she wanted, like all she needed was a giant to join her crew, and she had one of every race. And I'm sure the giant that joined would inevitably have to have a child with Big Mum. So that that's clearly what she wanted. We knew there was connections to Elbaph. She grew up on Elbaph.
Dude, she's interrupting this fight. She's gonna come up
She could
with the
interrupt this
fucking
fight.
lava
She
homie.
could be in a act of unknowing betrayal of Mother Carmel. She could she could send the Holy Knights away. Like, if she rocks up on Elbaph having hunger pangs and goes crazy and killing him and Summers and Gunko see this, they're getting out of there. If they're like, all right, we've got to deal with Luffy, Loki, every giant, the remainder of the Straw Hats that haven't been captured, and Big Mum in one, and inevitably they're going to find out that Gabon's there, it's over. Like, those three cannot beat that. That'd be a great way to empty out Elbaph of the God's Knights. And it'd be an even better way to start telling a story about Elbaph.
Yeah.
Because we can't talk about Elbaph while we're dealing with the world government. I think you've opened my eyes to another great theory. Like, Declan, I gotta give you credit. You have these little theories sometimes. You'll just say them on an off the cuff moment, and I gotta sit here and be like, damn, I can think of a million reasons why you're correct. And this is one of those situations. I can think of so many reasons why Big Mum will come back into the story. I can think of even more reasons why it would be justified now. The only issue is she sort of probably died.
Yeah, now watch none of this actually happen.
Yeah. Like, I
But-
think everyone was aware that it was a
Brother,
possibility.
Thor Ragnarok.
And she
set
never,
up.
the death never actually happened. Like we never saw a
Ragnarok's
conclusive
coming.
death moment. We can sort of assume Kaido's alive as well. I was thinking about this the other day. So Kaido has the magma form, right? He has a fish fruit, so he can breathe under liquid. It's One Piece. It's gonna
Under
be goofy.
liquid.
Yeah, he'll be able to breathe. He'll be able to breathe.
Just under milk.
He's probably just chilling at the bottom of Wano in that. At the
He
bottom
could be
of the Great
happy
Canyon.
that he's finally had like a worthy fight.
Yeah. Well, no, that he absolutely he put himself as the barrier to, if someone can beat me, they have to be Joy Boy, and it makes sense.
God, imagine Kaido joining the crew.
Well, I think there's a chance. See, this is where it works well with what you said, like the Big Mom thing. If they come back, if Big Mom comes back, there's probably a strong chance that Kaido comes back, because if Kaido comes back, it gives a reason for King to come back. And King, being the only Lunarian, needs to come back. There is going to be a narrative purpose for King. You're not going to introduce a race of people that are going to be tantamount to the story's completion and not have the only one that was alive just be Kaido's sidekick. It feels like it'd be a waste. I think
Because King also believed Kaido was Joy Boy.
King believed Kaido was Joy Boy. Kaido believed Joy Boy was the one who defeats him. Mads is also back in action, so that brings Queen, gives an excuse. There could be a Kaido Impel Down 2.0. I think there is going to be an Impel Down 2.0 of some extent. I hope it's not by the Straw Hats. I hope it's another party attacks.
Cross Guild.
Cross Guild, Blackbeard, Shanks. Cross Guild makes sense because it feels like they're looking for bounty hunters, and what better place for bounty hunters than a jail full of people that hate
The best
world
bounty
government?
hunters.
Yeah, a jail full of the strongest pirates. And
Now there's
criminals
two
in the
bounty
world.
hunters we haven't seen in a while. Zoro's mates. Fucking Johnny and...
Johnny and Yasuke. Hell yeah. Bring them back in the
it's
story.
time.
It'd be so funny if Oda brought those back and they had like ridiculous conkers.
They're just hanging out with Bogard.
Yeah.
Where are those
just
boys?
like armament. They got a black blade. They got black blades or something. God, that'd be funny. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. I want Johnny and Yasuke back in the story so bad. We saw Geen and
Yeah.
recently
D-
Don
Krieg.
and
And Pearl.
Pearl, which shout out Pearl, because I remember when we were reading when that like little Dex showed up and you said to me and Pearl while we were at work and I was like, who is Pearl?
Yeah, you completely
I-
forgot.
Did not know who it was. And
Fucking-
I rewatched Baratier 3-4 months ago and Pearl is as unrememberable as he was when he re-showed up. Because I watched that and I was like, yeah, I absolutely did not remember him. And you want to know what? Forgot about him until you just said his name then. If you had asked me about Pearl, I would have been like, who?
That's crazy.
Just such an insignificant character. Just does nothing.
But, fuck, how did we even get to that?
Yeah, well, the Big Mom.
Well, the
discussion of-
mum's looking like Big Mum.
Yes,
and the clouds being
also
destroyed.
The clouds, the lightning, the thunder, the
Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening.
fire. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Like literally, he set it up to bring Big Mom back in, and there's
It's just interesting for me
'cause
to show
mums
all
have
these...
fiery hair.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
The mums have like fiery hair, and
They're just destroying
they're
everything.
just destroying stuff.
Look
and they're
how-
all big.
I don't know if that's Dory or Broggy,
Yeah,
but look at him reacting to that.
yeah, they're all Goldberg as well. Like all of the old warrior pirates, the way they're like reacting to these giant
I don't think
mums.
that's Goldberg.
I don't know. Which
Wouldn't
one
he
those
still...
two
That's
are.
just some fucking
Those guys have
fat
names.
giant.
Those guys have.
But just to
names.
show, like, the thunder and lightning... Sorry, the lightning and fire is so destructive to Elbaph.
It makes sense to bring the character with those two powers,
Bring her back.
bring her back. Also, she's the size of giants. Also, her history in Elbaph. Also,
She's
her
gonna
desire
fucking-
to have a giant crewmate. Also, her lack of
She's
confirmation of
gonna-
death.
Take advantage of a giant.
I don't know how she took advantage of a tontata. That still gets to me. I don't want to know how that one happened. Yeah, back to the chapter. I love your mum shout. Let's get back to that in a few weeks when you're correct, inevitably. Because we're a perfect analytical reading of this. Our predictions are right every time.
We haven't been proven wrong yet. Because if we were proven wrong, you'd be in the comments.
Yeah.
And no one's in the comments saying we're wrong. We're at a 100% hit rate. Everything we
do.
say.
Until
Even when I come back
one
2 weeks
thing is
later and go,
confirmed.
I was incorrect on this,
Yeah.
we're still correct.
But the message continues, obviously putting a lot of pressure on Ja Rule, explaining that it's his choice. Does he want to bend the knee? Or does he want to fight? See, the Big Mom thing works so well because the Giants need something. They need an X factor to get through this fight. Now, I am just going to sort of skip through the kids' reactions to being told about all this. They don't. Some of them care, some of them don't. One of them had horns.
Glad you brought that up.
Big ups the one
Ancient
with horns.
giant.
Yeah. There's one with a long nose too. Looks like a little bit like a
Could Loki have a kid?
potential.
How many ancient giants have we seen?
Harold Loki. Giants with horns. Kaido. Harold Loki. We both suspect that Kaido is the son of King Harold, with Hyruden's confirmation that he is of a bastard descent from a non-Elbaph giant tribe. I think we can surmise that Kaido's related to Harold in some way. Imagine if Kaido's actually Loki's kid. Loki had a kid at like 20.
No, it wouldn't work.
Why? Loki's like 50, 60 years old.
Yeah, so was Kaido.
Oh yeah, true.
Kaido tried
So
to
that
join...
fits even.
Kaido joined Rock's crew as a kid.
Yeah.
Loki
Yeah.
tried to join the Rock's crew as a kid.
Yeah, you're right. I was just thinking because
See?
Giants
Never
age
wrong.
slower. I was thinking because Giants age slower.
Yeah.
Because Loki, when he tried to join, like Colin's like 20 now, isn't he? Like 20 or 30 years old.
Just a wee lad.
But he's like 11. He's probably Luffy's age, whatever Luffy's age was. I think that's roughly what Colin is. But yeah, basically we just get the reactions of the family members of each child, the reaction of each child. It's not anything super like
Just a standard
interesting.
reaction.
Yeah.
That's my
it's one of those
kid.
things you need to have just to build the story, but it ultimately it's 3 pages worth of content that just gets knocked away very, very quickly. Ja Rule, again, is posed by the question is he going to bend the knee? And he's like, why am I choosing? He's like, I'm just a guy with a sword in his head. I'm dumb. Sorry, my manga has not loaded the last 2 pages, and that's really where I want to be. I'm sorry about
You are struggling over there.
I don't think it's me that's struggling. It's the Shonen Jump app has really decided to have a bit of a
You're
whinge for me.
swiping the wrong way. Right to left.
Well, it's because it started on the end last time. I wanted to go to page.
Oh my
second last
God.
Page.
Page 1?
Ha. Alti. But this is when we finally get Gabon. He's coming into action. I think what we're about to see,
The Mountain Eater, whatever his name was.
the mountain
Cleaner?
cleaver.
Mountain Cleaver?
Yeah, mountain
I thought
cleaver. I
was
think it was.
the Mountain Cleaner, if you know what I mean.
Obviously, quickly on the reactions of Colin from Summers, basically being like, there's a little warrior named Colin who showed up and joined the crew, so that makes 10. Obviously getting referred to as a little warrior. Gabon's like, hell yeah, brother.
My son, my blood,
That's my boy.
my kin.
That's my boy. And then Ripley's like, shut up.
You can do
He's
it.
getting kidnapped. But Gabon, Yassan, has jumped into action and he's running. double hatchet, running towards them. I won't let them do this. But at the same time, Robin, in a very interesting, like, artistic way,
Locked in.
Ring dies. Do you want to talk about that? Ring dies.
That's interesting.
Robin is about to switch up. Demonio Fleur. I think Robin's about to awaken. So this is where I really wanted to, like, jump in and talk about the next couple chapters, because I think this is setting up the fact that we're about to see Gabon has a form of Haki that can beat the immortality, that can stop the regeneration. Or he's going to know how to handle it, whether it's through Haki, whether it's through actively going after a specific body part, or you have to kill their heart.
You have to slice the back of the neck.
Yeah, something like that.
Just Attack on Titan.
But he's coming in hot. I think we're about to see a lot of strength, and I think we're about to see him probably take out Summers. I feel with the whole romance thing,
I want one of them to just die.
killing him or Summers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of them, because they're both referred to as, like, immortal, so you can probably guess that they're both old heads. They've probably been in the world government for 400 years, 300 years. Like, these guys could be multi-century old characters. Hence the reason they're so pedantic about doing their own thing. Like, Summers is just sitting there in his underwear. Killing him was just, like, you know, a very clean-cut guy. Like, I think they had very set behaviors, and there's a strong chance, with especially Gunko being so new to the Holy Knights, it seems, new to being a Celestial at all, that they're going to be old heads.
Wait, do we know that, or do we just keep theorizing that?
That's a good question. Sometimes my theories become headcanon and I can't distinguish what's real and what's not. I think there was a line. I think the theory comes from the fact that there was a line that she was like, used to be a slave or something like that. Or or only new to being a holy knight at least.
Yeah.
I think it was that she was only new to being a celestial dragon, and that's why we theorized that she was a slave turned holy knight. But she could have just been a really strong, like, CP agent that they took. I think we only theorized the slave thing because of the glasses on the head and the look close to
Koala.
Ginny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the same, like, hat and stuff as Koala. So could also be a relative of Koala, I guess. But in that timeline would work out, and could just be like Koala's sister. I think Gunko's going to have a relation to a character that is a Rev in some way, but that is theory. That is unconfirmed.
And that's just a
complete
theory.
speculation.
A Mocktown theory.
A Mocktown theory. But getting on to Robin. Ring dies. She's already got the Demonio Fleur, the full body demonic
which that doesn't even make sense.
Succubus thing. Well, my understanding is
now does this play into your a devil fruit's power is what do you want it to be? She's always been referred to as the demon child. She sees herself as a demon. She grows into a demon.
Yes and no. I put this down as her, because what's her power? It's like the petal fruit.
It's like a flower fruit.
Flower fruit.
She can just sprout things.
Yeah. So I think she can just sprout any part of her body and shape it in sort of any way. So she's just shaping it to look like a demon.
Not bad.
She's just shaping it to look like a demon. I think this is more, and I don't think I've ever actually touched on this theory with you, that every Straw Hat is going to be a demon. Like, they're all considered demons. They're all like King of Hell,
Chef
God
of
of
Hell,
Destruction, God Usopp,
Burglar of Hell.
Yeah, like I could just say like Nico Robin, but Devil Child,
Fish of Hell,
Fish of Hell,
the Boat of Hell.
He was seen to be a Chopper was not a demon necessarily, but he was demonized for his appearance by. He was considered a monster, so they're all basically considered. He's a literal skeleton and ghost. King of Hell, God of Destruction. We've got a demon child. We've got a robot. Robots are scary. We've got another robot. Yeah, no, I right, like how I just really lashed onto the fact that robots are fucking devils. No, I think there is going to be eventually reference to
Half whale shark. They're
half
pretty
whale
evil.
shark. Yeah, I've been told
Whale sharks friendly, but sharks themselves not great.
Not so nice. Yeah, no, I think there's a chance, or I think it's pretty narratively, the world government is going to try and has successfully painted the Straw Hats as demons, like
the demon crew.
The outside perspective, and we don't see it a lot, but the perspective of people that, like regular people, when we see it, how they think of Luffy before they meet him, is they assume the Straw Hats are like the evilest crew because of, if you just list the things they've done that stop the status quo, like. And this comes onto what I was talking about with Oda clearly wants to write a story about breaking the status quo.
They've attacked government facilities.
But they attacked Annie's lobby.
They've attacked a celestial dragon.
Even from the beginning, his first ever fight was with a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
He takes out a Marine. If you're 3 islands over in the East Blue and you hear the strongest Marine on the in the East Blue that, isn't at Logtown has just been taken out, you're going to be like, who's this? Oh, it's by some 17-year-old kid. That's scary. But if you're one of the people that lived on the island, you're going to go, yippee, that was a dictator. Like, obviously then there's Arlong. They go to the Baratie, they fight. What's the guy who has the knuckles? Iron Knuckles guy. Sanji takes him out. He comes back, gets washed, like, immediately. I think he showed up relatively recently in the manga too, as like in one of the decks of the world. He like
really,
yeah. He's definitely active because I'm watching Skypiea right now, and he in the anime there is like a cover story moment with him where it's like he's chasing a different pirate and then like cowards out. But he's still in the story. Like there have been dexes to him, so I assume.
But yeah, the crew's always done something.
Yeah, the crew has gone through government facilities, Logtown, obviously.
Like Frankie also being trained by Tom.
Yeah, and then
built Roger's boat.
And also, the world government made him build the sea train and then killed him. But yeah, the Straw Hats have come against the world government and been demonized by the world government the whole way through, where we rightly know that they are just in their action, they are just and righteous, but ultimately they haven't been, and they haven't been from an outside perspective. Ultimately, they haven't been from an inside perspective too, because it's always just been Luffy's actions. It's just that his independent moral beliefs are, in general, quite righteous. But yeah, ultimately they've always been depicted as villains that until you meet them, and then they meet them and everyone's like, oh my god, these guys are so fucking goofy and silly.
These guys are cool.
These guys are cool as, and then they're like, here's some food, and then Luffy's like, I'll save you. I'll do anything for you. The ringed eyes is getting me though. Now, what do you think the ringed eyes mean? Because I've heard a few theories.
I don't know if I'm not reading into it that much.
Yeah, because I'm gonna list off
battle.
a few, just 2 theories that I think are possibilities. So one is it means you have 2 souls in your body. Now the evidence for this is pretty limited, but if we look at Luffy, he has the ringed eyes when he goes into Nika form. Obviously, there is a god's being within the devil fruit, God's will and soul. So then Luffy carrying dual soul. We see it with
Mihawk?
Blonde, the Cavendish.
Yep.
And Hakuba. A body that when either of them switch, they don't have ringed eyes. But when Cavendish and Hakuba are both trying to possess the body at the same time, that's when he gets the ringed eyes. So it could be that. And I think at one point Blackbeard has ringed eyes, and we all know that there's theories about Blackbeard being
I can't remember that.
But I might be wrong. Mihawk definitely has them. Now, Mihawk leans better into the idea, and Emu as well. And if you've heard my theory of believing that Emu had his soul switched and took the body of someone, Vivi, Lily.
Lily. Watch the Mirror episode.
Watch the Mirror episode. It could be that, but it could also just be observation haki. It could be you reach such a supreme level of observation haki that your eyes just like turn ringed when you activate it, and Hawkeye Mihawk just has it activated all the time. Like, it's pretty weird to give a swordsman the name Hawkeye. You'd think Hawkeye would be more reference to a sniper. But you give it to a swordsman. But if that swordsman then also has the strongest observation in the game, bar maybe Shanks.
Yeah.
But maybe Shanks. I think that Mihawk probably has stronger observation than Shanks. Shanks probably has stronger conquerors.
Yep.
It could just be that. And this could be a moment showing us that Robin has just unlocked an advanced version of observation haki. And is...
Or she has 2 souls.
The big dog. Or has 2 souls. I think for Robin, it feels a
grow
little
another
more...
soul.
Well, she's got the soul and the will of the whole of O'Hara. She is the last vestige of O'Hara. Especially with how it's looking for Saul. Also, unfortunately, guys, I think Saul's demise is official. I think he came back to basically be a way of hoarding the information safely. I think Papa Saul's dead, guys.
Yeah, I think they've said Saul's fucked up. We've got the kids, and now they're just showing how locked in Robin is about to be.
I think Saul is about to die. Saul is in an incapacitated state. I really hope. So, yeah, to go on. I think there's like you said before, one of them will die. I think Summers makes sense to fight Gabon because of the love thing. Like Gabon being like such a romantic and then Summers being a romantic. Initially, I think I estimated that it would be Sanji and Summers were going to fight. Now with how I'm looking at it from this point, it looks like Robin may start the battle and Gabon's going to finish it. Like, I don't think Robin's has the capability of killing a regenerative...
You got it.
Someone regenerative, person.
I couldn't say it either.
But Gabon could, but I think we're also going to see that Robin's about to snap and, like, go ham. Because, like, she killed Black Maria so easily. And, like, yeah, not even an ounce of difficulty with Black Maria. And then pretty much had to do not a whole lot on Egghead. I can't really remember Robin's contributions.
She was knocked out for a lot of it, I feel.
Yeah. Yes, she was.
She just needs to go back to breaking backs.
She does. She bring back the neck cracks and the back breaks.
And the ball grabbing.
But I think we're about to see Robin probably take out Shepard a couple times, but he keeps coming back, and then Gabon is going to come in and be like, here's how it's done.
Yeah.
Kill him.
You coat your weapon with haki, so it...
I don't think it's going to be as easy as haki. I don't think it's going to be as easy as armament. I don't even think it's going to be as easy as advanced armament, Rio. I think there's something else. I think there may be a 4th haki.
Salt. Just throw some salt on them and that burn.
Yeah.
No, because they ate salt.
No, but it was dream salt. It wasn't real. So, I don't know, there's something I think that is missing in order to take them out.
Yeah.
Could it be Conquerors? Hence the reason Joy Boy filled Emeth with the Conqueror's knot. Could it be as easy as that? Conquerors sent them back. Like that blast from Joy Boy sent them back to Mary Joie, the Gorosei. This is back in Egghead. I'm going to lean into that prediction being how they get sent back. I think Gabon may take out Summers here.
So bad that he just appears back.
I think what you said before with one of them has to die. I think Summers gets killed here by Gabon. starting with a fight against Robin, and Robin is actually stronger, but is just unable to defeat him. Then Gabon, who is even stronger than Robin, comes in, pretty cleanly defeats Shepard. And then I also think Luffy and Loki are going to come to blows and have a Conqueror's clash. And that Conqueror's clash is going to be so strong that it sends them back. It sends Gunko and killing him back. That's that, because I want to get into the prediction of how this altercation's going to go, and do you have any ideas?
I just want the nightmares to go. I'm over that now.
Yeah, the nightmares are they keep getting like taken out and then
They just keep
reappearing.
appearing.
So Killingham's obviously someone's gonna go after Killingham. So do you think Robin and Gabon are going after the same person? Do you think they're both going after Shepard? Do you think Gabon's going for the kids or Killingham?
Well, I'm assuming that no, because
Saul's on his own at the library,
so he doesn't have Chopper.
but the kids
or
started
Robin.
at the library
Where are Chopper and Robin?
in his hair. So Chopper. So let's just describe the three battlefields. There's Loki, Luffy, Hiruden, Sanji, Zoro, and the new Elbaph giant pirates.
Yep.
One group. Then we've got Gunko and Usopp, Nami, Brook, Jinbei. And then we've got like the Elbaph town with Ja Rule. And then Dory and Brogy are on the boat with the old warrior pirates. They're the ones really facing the mums, the ghosts, the nightmares. Then we've got Ripley, Frankie, Lilith, and Bonnie all getting carried by Ripley from...
And Gabon.
No.
I'm pretty sure
They...
Gabon's holding.
No, yeah, Gabon's being
Ripley's-
held by Ripley,
Yeah.
but they run to where Dory, Brogy, Gabon, and Ja Rule are.
Mm-hmm,
So that they're in the town partying. Like, that's where they... So they get brought back from the library by Ripley. So now they're all there. Frankie is there with Vegapunk and Jewelry Bonnie.
Mm.
Gabon sets off towards what I depict either Colin or Shepard, Summers, Robin, Chopper, and Saul, who are near the library where the kids departed from. So Gabon, if he's going to the kids, he has to pass them.
Yep.
Because the kids are walking along a branch that...
Section 8 or something?
Section 8, yeah, which is the same branch that the library was on, and they're walking off the branch, not back towards the trunk. So Gabon is going to have to pass them.
I think Gabon's smart enough to know not to go to the kids.
Yeah.
He's going to go straight to the source, which will be Summers. And Robin's already there. So yeah, you're right. Robin will start the fight.
Yeah.
Gabon will feel the Haki and be like, not the Haki, the Haki, and be like, I'll go there.
Yeah. So Killingham is in the school.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I think he's in the school because he's obviously taken out the principal, the guy with the walrus teeth, and he's
Yes.
taken out the librarian,
Vice
I think it was,
principal,
or
whatever it
vice
was.
principal. Yeah. She's been taken out as well. So yeah, there's basically 4 arenas. One of them is like the school area, which extends to Saul and inevitably extends to the kids, like branch 8, I guess we'll just call it for now. Can Luffy and that group hear the transmission?
Well, we're assuming not. The
Yeah.
fact that everyone's still Luffy and Loki are sleeping.
Yeah. That's
But
how I read it.
someone might have a transponder snail, and they're like, "Why does this thing keep fucking going off? Let me check it."
Yeah.
Yep.
Just starts listening to the radio. Well, I can't remember if they already did it, but didn't... I think it was Goldberg tell Sanji, oh, you can go cook in this cabin. Oh, no, that's already been and gone, though, because he's Loki and Luffy have been fed.
Yeah.
I was about to say, that would have been a good opening for them to have access to a radio. But
What's happening?
yeah, I get the feeling Luffy and Loki don't know what the fuck's going on. And I get the feeling my prediction. I'm not gonna say I get the feeling. I'm gonna predict that Gabon Robin versus Summers, and then Luffy and versus Loki in a Conqueror's battle, where they both just have like a insane blast, is going to send Gunko killing him back, and probably alert Shanks to come back to Elbaph, because he'll probably feel Loki's Conquerors and be like, who the fuck's this other person's Conquerors? Although because he didn't feel Luffy's when Luffy did the blast at Marineford. He wasn't there yet, so yeah, I think that's where it could go. That's my predictions. Let's come back in 2 weeks and chat about it.
So it's a break next week.
Break next week. So yeah, as we said, break next week. Please, engagement with the videos is it's just nice to feel. Please give us any ideas on what you want us to talk about. I'm sure there's plenty of topics we can talk about.
There's always something with
There's
One
always
Piece.
something we can go back to and talk about. Maybe we'll extend a little bit on the moon being the first world theory. Maybe I'll just flesh that bad boy out, and I'll give you some more
That's a big one.
supporting evidence. Or maybe we'll do something else. I've got theories. I've got things to talk about. Declan's got theories. Declan's got things to talk about. But yeah, we've probably going to wrap here.
Yeah, hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Good little session. No need for the extracurricular stuff. I think we've had a long enough episode doing a double feature.
I'm tired.
I'm tired too.
We've both been yawning.
Yeah. It's a pretty lazy day today. It's pretty bad weather at where we are, and it's
In Jaya.
in Jaya. Yeah, in Jaya, it's pretty bad weather. That's the place I was trying to mock down. I actually forgot the name of Mockdown. That's what I was looking for. But yeah, no. I hate cherry pies.
I hate drink.
Welcome to Mockdown Podcast. Goodbye.
Butter. Moshi.
Moshi moshi. It keeps calling me.